If you don't like who you are, change it. You're not a log of wood. But what does it actually mean to recreate yourself? Recreating yourself is to intentionally transform your identity, habits, behaviors, and mindset to align with a new vision of who you want to become. Hey guys, my name is Ozioma and welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I'm going to show you exactly how to create a new version of yourself if you do not like your current version. So please stay tuned and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can always stay updated on all my personal growth and development content that I would definitely love to share with you. Now let's get right into the video. The first tip I'm going to mention when it comes to recreating yourself and creating a new version of yourself is for you to have a vivid, clear picture of what your higher self looks like. Now, this is where self-awareness comes into play because you need to first of all accept what your current reality looks like and recognize things that actually need to change in your current reality for you to actually become your higher self. Recreating yourself cannot happen without self-awareness because unless you're able to recognize those things that need to change, then how would you know that something actually needs to change? I want you to create a clear picture of what your higher self looks like. Is she financially stable? What is her finances like? What is her net worth like? What does she look like? How does she dress? What kind of people does she associate with? What is her mindset like? I want you to have this vivid, clear picture of who you want to become, and then I want you to go ahead and create an alter ego around that personality. Now, why I would definitely recommend you create an alter ego for yourself is because due to our past experiences and the life we've lived, we tend to limit ourselves in so many ways, right? Maybe thinking that you're not good enough, thinking that you do not have enough money to become who you want to be. No. Okay, imagine a life or a personality of yours that has zero limitation. Imagine money was not your problem. Imagine you are as beautiful as you can ever imagine you could be. Imagine you have all the confidence in the world to achieve absolutely anything you set your mind to. Now, I want you to create an alter ego for that personality that has zero limitations. Now, if you are in doubt of what an alter ego can actually do to you, I'll definitely recommend you go watch the movie The Hitman because it's centered around a professor at a university who had very low self-esteem and lived a very boring life. But you can see the moment he had the side hustle where he was like a fake hitman, and you could literally see in the movie how playing pretend and being this personality of someone that was really confident and smart and outspoken actually changed his entire personality, that he actually became him. Like they say, if you pretend to be something for way too long, you might actually become that thing. Creating an alter ego can really help remove that barrier and limitation that you've subconsciously created for yourself. The second tip I'm going to mention in this video to help you create a new version of yourself is for you to start showing up as her. Now, when it comes to showing up as her, like I said, do not limit yourself, and it's completely okay to start small because sometimes we always tell ourselves, oh, I'm going to start saving when my income increases. Oh, I'm going to start dressing like my highest fashion when I make more money. Now, if you keep waiting for some magic to happen in your life, you would basically not drive any change in your life. Every single successful person you see today had to start from somewhere, whether they came from wealth or they were actually self-made. They had to start from somewhere. Starting is the most important part, because the journey gets clearer the moment you start. But if you keep sitting around and you keep hoping that something will change automatically in your life, then you will start, then nothing will actually change. So I want you to actually start from where you currently are and always have it at the back of your mind that you are exactly where you need to be to drive the kind of change that you seek, no matter what it is you want to become. Do you want to become the first billionaire in your community? Do you want to become the most educated person in your family? whatever it is, you are exactly where you need to be to make that happen. Your past experiences, your past choices was designed in a way to create you to be the person you want to be. So do not think that you are flawed or disadvantaged in any way, or do not think that your past experiences, your current reality is the thing holding you back. As a matter of fact, your current reality is what you actually need to become every single thing you need to be. Every single day, I want you to live your life with integrity. Like I said, you just have to start from where you are, no matter how small it is. If you want to start saving, you do not need to wait till you start earning $500,000 before you start saving. Even if you're earning only 10,000 naira every single month, decide, okay, at the end of every month I'm going to save 1,000 naira. Just start from somewhere, okay? Because you waiting for that big win, you need to understand that the big win actually comes from tiny movements. Okay. And also, I'm also going to tell you, set daily intentions every single day. Set intentions of what you want your day to look like. Set intentions that you're going to live today with integrity. Set intentions that you're going to live the day as the most happiest and most peaceful version of yourself. Set intentions that, okay, today I get to look like myself. I get to act like the highest version of myself. I get to look like the highest version of myself. I get to show up today as the highest version of myself. When I was trying to recreate myself, and one thing I really wanted to recreate about myself was my personality, like my appearance, basically, because I felt like I wasn't really dressing so well. So I really wanted to change that. So what I would do was every single day I had to leave my house, go outside of my house, and I dressed up. I would stand in front of the mirror and I would ask myself, do I look like the highest version of myself? Now, if I look at myself and I bring back that clear picture of who I want to become, I have to check the two. And if they do not match, I get to change what I'm wearing. Now, this actually helped me create a personality where I intentionally made sure that every single day that I had to leave my house, I was dressing like the highest version of myself. And before you know it, it actually becomes very easy for you to start looking like her. It actually becomes very easy for you to start talking like her, thinking like her, behaving like her. Now, another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is for you to understand that excuses are not reality. Get out of your head. Stop making excuses, because excuses will not take you anywhere. It's because of excuses that you're currently where you are right now. Like, look at your life. Are you proud of where you are? Are you proud of your current reality? Some of you are so broke you cannot afford anything. Some of you are so depressed you can't even get out of your room. Why? It's because of the excuses you keep making in your head. You keep telling yourself, oh, I'm not worthy, oh, I'm not beautiful, oh, I'm not capable of being the best version of myself. Who said so? You did not even create yourself. And God has blessed you with so much abundance and beauty and knowledge, and you are just wasting such gifts. If you were to die today and God asked you, what did you do with the one life He gave you? Would you be proud of the answer you're about to give Him? Now, if you will not be, I want you to take every single day seriously, because the secret and the DNA, like what your future is going to look like, depends on what you do every single day, what you wake up every single day and do. Because I want to tell you right now, life is hard. I know we do not like saying it because we always like to live in this our positive bubble. When someone tells you life is hard, be like, God forbid, my life is not hard. Life is hard. Okay, if you are going to chase your goals, you need to embrace the difficulty that comes with it. Now, stop making excuses for your life, because most times excuses are a way for us to escape doing the difficult things. Most times excuses are a way for us to not take responsibilities for our actions. Now, the most thing I love and hate, the bittersweet thing about adulthood, is that you don't just take responsibility for your action, you get to live in the consequences of your actions. As kids, basically, you could literally do something and get away with it. Your parents could literally shield you from the consequences of your actions. Okay, but as adults, you get to live in the consequences of every single choice you make. And you're currently living in it because your current reality is not something you're proud of, is it? Okay, so now I want you to stop making excuses. I also had this experience of when I was trying to chase my dreams, and when it got really difficult, like before it even got difficult, I was always telling myself, oh, I'm busy. Every single day I was busy doing things. Now, when I'm saying busy, I'm not saying that I'm busy chasing my dreams. I was busy running errands in my house. And at the end of the day, I would be so exhausted and tired. Okay. And I would always tell myself, okay, today was a good day. At least I was busy. Now, you need to understand that being busy is not being productive. Now, if you've seen my productivity video or you've seen my videos before, you would understand that being busy is just a way for you to actually escape doing the hard things. But I want you to know right now, I'm going to put it to you straight up in your face right now, that if you keep escaping the difficult things, your future will be hard. But if you are able to sit with that difficulty right now, start that business right now, get frustrated in running that business right now, but don't give up. And tomorrow you could actually live the life of your dreams. Tomorrow you could actually live an easier life. Now, another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is for you to create a plan. Now, setting goals without a plan is like you telling yourself, I'm going to go to Abuja tomorrow, but you're in your house sleeping. How will you get there? You're definitely not a witch and you definitely do not have a long broom. So how do you want to get there? So now what you want to do is, as much as you've set the goals, and I want you to dream as big as possible, be very, very delusional with your goals when you're dreaming about your goals. Now, why I would definitely recommend this is because if you are complacent, you have really small goals, the motivation that comes with it will be very small. But if you have really big goals, the motivation that comes with it will be really big, because for every single time you think or dream about it, there is this motivation, there is this hype, there is this pump of blood, this rush of energy that flows through your body. So dream as big as possible. Besides, it's the same, it literally costs you nothing to dream big, and it costs you zero to dream small. So why would you still spend that same amount of time dreaming small when you can actually dream big? Set out actionable steps that can get you to your destination. Now, when it comes to making plans, I would definitely recommend you try implementing different productivity techniques, like implementing the 80-20 rule, which is basically which is basically a way of you identifying 20% of task you're going to perform that would provide you with 80% of result. Now, this is actually working smart, but there is also a disclaimer here, because you cannot work smart without working hard and achieve greatness. If you want to be really, really successful, it's like a combination of both. Now, when you find out that 20% of effort and work that provides you with 80% of result, especially when you're starting out, I'm going to advise you that you should take that 20% of work and work really hard with that 20%, so that you're not just getting 80%, you're getting like more than 80% of results. Okay, now why I would definitely recommend this is because, let's take for instance all the successful people you know. Do you think that it was 20% of work that gave them the result? As a matter of fact, people fail so many times that nobody talks about the failures. We only talk about the results, the wins, the success, right? Albert Einstein had to fail so many times to have that one breakthrough in his career. So if you're just there being lazy, being complacent, telling yourself, oh, I'm going to work smart by putting in 20% of effort and I'll get 80% of results, the flaw there is that you need to understand that you need to actually put in that 20% effort like 365 times a year to have that one big win, to have that one recognition that you're looking for. So now, another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is for you to eliminate distractions. Now, this is really important because I have to tell you right now that speed is essential to success. Now, I'm not just talking about being hasteful with zero direction. I'm talking about consistency here. You need to know that the secret of your future is embedded in your daily routine. Like whatever you're going to look like in the future, whatever your future is going to look like, whatever your next 5 years is going to look like, is as a result of the actions and the choices and the decisions you take every single day. As a matter of fact, look at your life right now. It's as a result of the choices you've been taking for the previous 5 years. So if you want to see something different in the next 5 years, you need to start taking different actions. Because, like they say, madness is you doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So, when it comes to that, I want you to start paying attention to your distractions, because there are so many things that are distracting. Like, the world is so noisy these days. It could be in really minor ways, like watching seasonal movies. Do you know how addictive seasonal movies is? Like, yesterday, I have been so engrossed and occupied with watching the third season of The Bridgertons. This is why I hate watching seasonal movies. It's just 8 episodes, but I could not stop watching it. Now, because I have been so disciplined for an ample amount of time, I was basically doing 3 episodes a day. Now, even these days, I find watching a full movie so time consuming because I have to sit down one place or lay down one place and watch one movie for about an hour plus. But in 1 hour, I could literally be doing something very productive with my time. So now I make sure, and I'm very, very intentional to make sure that the only time I am watching movies, as much as I love to watch movies and cartoons, is only when I am done with all my tasks for the day. So basically, I make sure that the only time I'm watching my movies is in the night when I'm about to sleep. And I make sure that I'm not watching it way too late that it prevents me from waking up early tomorrow. So you need to eliminate your distractions. But first of all, you need to be aware of the distractions that you have, whether it is mindlessly scrolling. Learn how to control your muscles, because we've subconsciously developed the habit of being distracted every single minute and trying to escape our reality. I am working on a difficult task, and just to escape or get myself out from working that difficult task, I would start scrolling mindlessly on social media. I would find myself booking an appointment to hang out with my friends just to escape my reality. Escaping your reality is a way of you escaping responsibility of doing the hard things. And like I say, you keep escaping from doing the hard things. Get ready to live a really hard future. You have to choose your hard because life is hard. You just have to choose which hard you're going to live in. Either you live in the present hard or you live in the future hard. Get better at delaying instant gratification. Just because you do not like working on this project doesn't mean you should escape it. Another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself, I'm going to say, is for you to recognize your triggers. It's really important for you to recognize your triggers because your triggers initiate the patterns and behaviors you currently have. Like, for instance, you're always waking up late. Now, you want to understand this is a pattern you have, but you want to understand what triggers you to always wake up late. Because when you wake up late, you are less productive, you are grumpy throughout the day, and you achieve less things throughout the day. So you want to understand what actually triggers this pattern. Maybe it's because you watch movies really late at night, then you fall asleep really late, then you wake up late, and it affects the rest of your day. So what you want to do is make sure that you turn off the TV really early. If you're going to watch TV, watch it early so that you can have enough time to get some rest. Because like they said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. And you create it by every single action and step you take every single day. Now, another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is for you to increase your surface area for success. Now, when it comes to this, I'm just basically going to say learn as much as possible, because the more you learn, the more you earn. And this is really, really important. I have basically had conversations with older people, and I've even caught myself thinking in this same pattern where I would tell myself, if only I know what I know now, like back in the days, I would have made better decisions. Now, why was I thinking this way? Because right now I have more knowledge, I have more experiences, I am more exposed, I know more things now. So I now see my past choices as flawed. So now that only made me to realize that our actions is based on our knowledge. I don't know if any other person is getting this. Your actions is based on what you know. Like if I decide to run a business right now, my decision to run that business is solely based on my current knowledge of my life, my experiences, and what I want my future to look like. So if I want to make a different decision, if I want to make better choices, I'm going to have to learn more. I'm going to have to put myself out there, not just in terms of reading and developing my skills, but also having more experiences in life, because like they say, experience is the best teacher. So basically, I'm going to tell you, try and expose yourself as much as possible, try and learn as much as possible, because the actions you're going to take every single day is solely based on what you know. So you want to increase your knowledge so you can make better choices. Now, another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is for you to be brutally honest to yourself. Now, the whole world can lie to you, but the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. Like you're sitting down there watching this video. You know how broke you are. So why are you trying to pretend to be rich to your friends? Why are you accepting to do things that you know you cannot afford? Why are you buying those expensive bags and expensive pieces of jewelry that you know you really can't afford? Stop lying to yourself, because at the end of the day, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is paying your bills. Nobody is coming to save you. So take absolute control of your life and start making decisions that will not ruin your future. Every single time somebody does something wrong, you get really pissed. Like maybe you go to a bar and the waiter spills drink on your clothes. You're going to be so pissed. You're going to unleash hell on them. But you always let yourself slack when you do something wrong. You told yourself you're going to start writing a book today, but you didn't. As a matter of fact, you told that to yourself 2 years ago, but you still haven't done it. And you're letting yourself slack. You're letting yourself slide. You're going easy on yourself. If you need someone to motivate you to be the best version of yourself, I want to tell you right now, spoiler alert, the only person you need to motivate you is you. Okay, you'd be lucky if you have a support system that does that. You would be so lucky if you have like an accountability partner, someone that motivates you and pushes you, or a partner that pushes you to become the best version of yourself. But I want to tell you right now that they can only do so much. The only person that can actually change their life is you. You can only change your life. Nobody is coming to change it for you. They can provide you with the funds, they can provide you with all the advice, but it's you that will take the steps and the actions that will make that change happen. Okay, so try to be as brutally honest with yourself and stop letting yourself slack. For every single time you slack, if you know how you're going to unleash hell on a waiter or a driver that spilled mud on your clothes, unleash hell on yourself so that you can be as consistent and disciplined as possible to make your dream life a reality. Another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is for you to forgive yourself. You are not your past. I need you to understand that. So the choices you've made in the past is all there for a purpose. As a matter of fact, you are destined to make those choices. Okay, as crazy as it might sound, you are destined to make those choices, because for every single time I made a decision that I am not proud of, character is built from those situations. For every single time I made a choice and I look back at it and I cringe at the thought of what I did, character is built, value is developed, because then I'm like, okay, I do not like who I was in this situation. You know what? If I'm presented with a situation like this in the future, this is how I'm going to react. This is who I'm going to be. Character is being built in those moments. So don't be so hard on yourself, because this is your one time in life. This is your one try in life. It's not like you've lived life before. And even if you've done that, even if you're like a reincarnate of your previous self, you did not come with the memory and experience and wisdom of your old life. You're basically doing this for the first time. You have no roadmap, no idea of what you're doing. As a matter of fact, nobody does. So be kind to yourself, love yourself, and understand that every single choice you've made in the past is destined or was there for a reason to help you become who you're meant to be. So learn from it and move past your past mistake or your past. Now, another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is for you to trust the process, because good things take time. Like, we all had to start from somewhere to become where we currently are. So do not think that you're going to be successful, that you just close your eyes and open it and you're already successful. It never works like that. As a matter of fact, before you even got to be this big, this beautiful, this smart, this white, this amazing human being that you are right now, you actually had to start from being a zygote, basically a fertilized egg. Now, let me blow your mind. Do you know that a fertilized egg is as tiny or as little as a grain of sand, which is only visible under a microscope? I actually just found that out. Okay. So you had to start from there to grow up to being this big and beautiful as you are right now. Look at beautiful, successful cities. Rome wasn't built in a day. United States wasn't built in a day. It all had to take time. So you are a work in progress. You are not a finished work. You're not finished. You're not, this is not the final destination. This is not everything that you are ever going to be. So trust the process, be patient with yourself, and fall in love with the process. Do not rush the process, because you cannot run faster than your shadow. No matter how fast you run, your shadow will always be behind you. So trust the process and just track the process of what you're doing. Just make sure that the steps you're taking, you're actually seeing result. No matter how slow the result is, let there be some form of result, because if there is no result, then which means you're not making any headway. But as long as there is a little change, no matter how little the change is, then that is actually proof that something is going to change in your life, basically. So just trust the process and don't be so hard on yourself. Also comes to creating a new version of yourself, I'm also going to say find your passion. Now, finding your passion is really important, and everybody will always say you find your passion, find your passion. But I feel like that is like half the truth, because we only talk about passion when we are talking about doing things that you love. But I would also tell you right now that when it comes to finding your passion, you should also do something that has the potential of increasing your income or helping you earn more money. Now, why is this important? Let's say, for instance, I'm an artist. I love to draw. I derive so much joy in being an artist, and I am based in a local town, like a town that is not very, very exposed. Now, what is the point of me having a God given talent that I cannot show the world? Now, what you want to do is make sure that you're doing something you enjoy, because why that is important is because life is already hard. Chasing our dreams is difficult. Nothing comes easy. And if you're going to chase your dreams, you need to embrace the difficulty that comes with chasing your dreams. But also, you want to make sure that you're not just doing all that work for nothing. Okay. So if you have a dream and you feel like the environment you are is limiting you, move to another environment that has the possibility of not just rewarding you for your talent, but also bringing joy and exposing you to the world through your talent. That is very, very important. Okay. Another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is for you to practice positive self-talk. Now, this is really important. You do not want to always talk negatively about yourself, because if you're always talking negatively about yourself, you're going to be experiencing negative things in your life. So if you want to always experience positivity in your life, if you want to change your life, you need to start talking to yourself in the way you want to see your life go. Because like the Bible said, the power of life and death is in the tongue. With the tongue you have the ability to curse, and with the tongue you have the ability to bless. So what would you rather do with your tongue? Would you curse yourself or would you bless yourself? Pay attention to that. Now, another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is your self concept. Now, this is really important, because the way you see yourself is going to automatically affect the way you show up in your daily life. When I was struggling with my self confidence, like I really had no self confidence, right? And I really wanted to change that. So I would constantly tell myself that I was smart, I was beautiful, I was worthy. I was constantly telling myself all these things, that I was so confident. Now, it got to a point that I would automatically start thinking in a way that aligned with those thoughts, I would automatically start working and carrying myself in a way that reaffirmed those thoughts I was having. Because at the end of the day, your brain does not know the difference between reality and imagination. Like, an experiment was literally conducted on athletes where they were asked to run races in their mind as they would on the field, and they realized that they spent the same amount of energy on their brain, and the same amount of movement occurred in their brain as it would occur when they were actually running those races physically. That only tells you that your brain does not know the difference between reality and imagination. So take advantage of that, because if your brain does not know the difference, then if you actually start thinking about something for way too long, your brain will now start acting in ways that reaffirms those thoughts. Think highly of yourself, and that is why having an alter ego is important, so that you can remove that barrier and limitation you have for yourself. Now, another tip I'm also going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself is for you to stop talking about your dreams. A lot of you talk way too much. Outside energies disrupt things, okay? And you do not everybody needs to know everything about you, basically. But another reason also, I would definitely recommend that you stop talking about your dreams and focus more on working on your dreams, like actively working on your dreams. Is because when you talk about your dreams too much, you tend to gain the satisfaction and pleasure that comes with accomplishing that dream when you've not even done it. Like me walking up to my siblings and telling them, oh, I have a business idea I want to start, what do you think about it? And if they go ahead and be like, oh, Ozioma, this is such an amazing business idea, you should go ahead and do it, I think you're going to be so successful in it. If they praise me way too much, I might end up not doing it, because I'm going to feel so hyped, I would end up not doing it. So what you want to do is keep that thought to yourself, keep your mouth shut, go ahead and do it. Let that motivation come from doing the task you said you're going to do, so that you do not end up being satisfied when you've not even done the task in the first place. Now, finally, the last tip I'm going to mention when it comes to creating a new version of yourself, I'm going to say, is for you to stop tolerating anything that isn't aligned with your goals. Now, this is also a form of self-sabotage that we do to ourselves. Okay, you know that you are constantly drinking, you're like an alcoholic, and then you keep hanging out with people that encourage you to drink. How are you going to change your life? Because constantly being in the presence of these people, you're going to be tempted to do the same thing and live your life the same way you've been living it. Then how is your life going to change? The same thing happens when you hang around people that are not goal driven. How do you want to change your life? So you need to be very, very conscious and aware of making sure that you're surrounding yourself with things, experiences, and people that encourage you and help you become the best version of yourself. Stop living your life on autopilot mode, because life is way too short for you to just go with the flow. Take absolute control of your life and be very intentional about being the best version of yourself every single day. And it's completely okay to cut people, experiences, and things off if they do not align with who you want to become. So with that, we've basically come to the end of the video, and I really do hope you learned something from this video. Please let me know in the comment section if you found this content helpful, so that I can create more content like this. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, so you can always stay updated on all my personal growth and development content that I would definitely love to share with you. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.